Alliances turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick. Alliances turn to pick.
For the cheese.
Alliances turn to pick. Dire team pick.
Welcome back, guys. A little break it was indeed, about half an hour, but we're ready with game number 2. Alliance up against Team Alternate. We'll head into the draft and find out what's going on here. Clairvoyance had some things that he had to go and do, but I'll be here. I'll take you through. Now, in-game sounds, where have you gone? There we are. There we go. Alliance's turn to ban. Now, Nature's Prophet. First picked up by Alliance along with the Tusk. Team Alternate still sticking with the Anti-Mage, this time going with the AM Tusk, AM Undying, rather than the Undying Tusk that they had in the last game. But Alliance sticking to their guns, banning out the Shadow Fiend in the first phase, knowing that Team Alternate do like to run that hero. And also taking out the Wisp. Now, Alliance made decent use of the Wisp in the previous game, but Team Alternate, they play a pretty mean Wisp Tiny themselves. It's something that really has propelled them to the status that they're at right now. You know, they're sort of like a mini Vega. The way I look at them and their squad, they love the tiny Wisp, but they're pretty good at just sort of trying to get map control as long as they get strong lanes. And with an Undying, yeah, you're gonna get decent lanes. Last game he did give away a couple of kills, a couple of deaths here and there, which wasn't really too great. But if they're taking out the Dazzle, taking out the Sustain, and they've banned out S4's Queen of Pain as well. Alliance, you don't want this. I don't want this Team Alternate attacks lineup to just keep running them down. So they take out the Night Stalker. And I'm wondering if a second phase Invoker ban wouldn't be too out of place. It's annoying. It's hard to handle sometimes, but AM plus Invoker, there's this kind of overlap with when you need to make space and when you need space made for yourself. An Anti-Mage, very early on in the game, you know, he needs to be farming up for the first 12, 13 minutes or so to get into his treads and Battle Fury, but instead, they ban out the Bane and go with a Venomancer. Interesting stuff. Early game aggression, you can take down Undying's Tombstone and Plague Wards and a few hits from Veno, but interesting stuff. Straight out there. So they've got Nature's Prophet for Bulldog offlane. They've got Tusk, which is, I'm assuming, Nuts over on the support role. Venomancer. Not sure where that's heading, though. You know, we've seen a lot of people running in the core role, mid, safe lane. Could be support as well, but we have to see what's going to be happening with that. I think give Lotus something a little bit more traditional, you know, a little bit more sort of tanky, brawly, one of the melee carries. And Team Alternate, they go back for the Winter Wyvern, a little bit more lockdown there. Winter's Curse, and also laning potential. You know, you're guaranteeing Anti-Mage has some farm time. And just get him into that Battle Fury, because last game was like 22-minute Battle Fury. Something like that, which really wasn't what he was aiming for. Really wasn't what he was aiming for. That's Alliance. They're thinking hard about this. There are numerous ways you can actually go now. You can have safe lane Nature's Prophet, you can run him off lane. I'm not sure how he fares too well against an Anti-Mage plus, you know, Undying Wyvern lane. It's going to be rough for him up there. So maybe you run Tusk Prophet up at top. There's definitely potential just to try and, you know, zone people out, have that fighting happening over the first 3 or 4 minutes or so, control runes a little bit better as well. Gonna make sure they haven't disconnected. So taking a sweet ass time over this one. There we go. One of those brawly, melee, a little bit tanky heroes for Loda. So, Juggernaut going to be the early game carry there. Obviously, he does scale pretty decently with his crit. His Omni Slash, ever useful though. And that's what you've got to really aim for with the Juggernaut. It's getting to level 11 and utilizing Omni Slash as often as you possibly can. Against the Wyvern, interesting though. You know, physical damage against the Cold Embrace, but Magnus, okay. Team Alternate. Straight in there, Empower very early on, and if you don't get your Battle Fury straight off the bat with the Anti-Mage, you've got Empower to fall back on and farm through the camps, but that's a lot of reliance on big teamfight ultimates. Winter's Curse, Reverse Polarity, and Tombstone getting dropped down. So Alliance, complete opposite pretty much, you know, short cooldown abilities. The Juggernaut Omni Slash is going to be annoying, that you have to kind of rely on that long sort of two minute cooldown, whatever it is. Around 2 minute cooldown, 130, 120, 110. But they've got Treants, they've got Split Push, they've got a ton of heroes just to go and run towards Team Alternate's towers with Plague Wards and Treants. And then they've got good initiation from the Tusk as well. Final hero is still technically up in the air. I think it's going to be mid S4 Venomancer, Juggernaut safe lane, Tusk support role. And the last one's going to be Arcade Hero, Keeper of the Light potential. But I'm not too sure. You know, Sustain would be good with a Witch Doctor or something like that. It could be Arcade Venomancer, the ban out with a Bat Rider there from Team Alternate. S4, his Bat is still a threat to behold. Alliance is starting to run out of time.
Reserve time.
Starting to run out of time. Team Alternate, what could they go for though? Still yet to see which hero's going where. You know, Magnus, I think, goes towards the middle lane. We very rarely see offlane Magnus nowadays. Winter Wyvern support. Undying, maybe the support hero as well. So, offlaner, I think Darkseer was a good shout by Alliance. The combo with the Vacuum into Winter's Curse RP, great for them, obviously. But there aren't that many options left. There's Clockwork for Sasu, which is probably what they're aiming at. But then you've got 4 melee heroes running into Juggernaut, Dragonite, Tusk, and that Venomancer as well. So it looks like it will be Arke on the Veno, not on the Tusk. And S4 mid-Dragonite. With his Bat and Queen of Pain both banned out. And okay, it's a Timbersaw. So Timbersaw offlane. Pure damage, pretty good up against Jugger and Dragon Knight, and clear through creep waves and stop the push coming in. But this is such a high skill cap hero. My goodness. Is it going mid? Because Starsu's picked up the Magnus. It could be going towards the offlane, so something we don't see often at all could actually happen here for Team Alternate. Supreme, play the mid lane Timbersaw. Let's see it happen against the Dragon Knight. You know, mid Timbersaw, we saw it here and there. I think S4 played it a couple of times himself, about a year and a half ago, if that. But there are very few trees. You know, you rely very heavily on your Whirling Death, your reactive armor to keep yourself just trucking through and get the damage down to Dragon Knight. But if you can land Whirling Deaths, you know, it's going to annoy the DK. You come in with Arctic Burn, you zone him out, you control the lane. But Venomancer as well as Tusk can do this as well. They can turn things around very quickly onto the Timbersaw. Laning phase, going to be important here for Team Alternate. Very important. If they've got a snowballing Timber, they've got Anti-Mage who needs to farm himself up, and then they've got this Magnus who needs a Blink Dagger. So there are lots of heroes here that need key items at key times. You know, Battle Fury by 16 minutes or so really is what they're aiming for. Timbersaw, Bloodstone, I guess, has always been the key snowball item for him, as well as we've seen like Rod of Atos Timber when he goes towards the middle lane. We've seen Blink Embers straight off the bat and things like that. Even like Yule's Ember. But Bloodstone is what you aim for. Blink, Timbersaw, of course. Undying and Winter Wyvern, they're less item reliant than the rest of their team. They just need levels. They need levels. They need to keep playing aggressively, get their spells off. But over on the Radiant, what do we need? Like a Shadow Blade for S4, maybe? Just needs to tank himself up. Loader, stats build. Admiral Bulldog, Midas into, you know, Aghanim Scepter, Octarine Core, things like that, I guess. But Arcane and Arcane Nuts, they're kind of in a similar boat to the Dire supports as well. Their skill sets allow them to fight relatively early on. They don't necessarily need too many items. They don't need a ton of gold. They don't need to farm up a lot. They can stack up a ton for their core heroes just to build themselves up like that. But let's see. Exotic Deer, 12 tangos? Are you sure? just buys a ton of tangos. Yeah, there we go. He's got himself a fair amount of regen there. Lissash playing their Dying once again. And Supreme, looks like it is going to be a mid Timbersaw for him. Nisha will head there to try and zone him out a little bit. Offlane Magnus as Sasu. Okay, it's observable down very quickly. So S4, wait, hang on a second. Aggro tri-lane. Venomancer for Arke. Load of Juggernaut and Nuts on the Tusk heading up towards the top lane while Bulldog, no. S4's just going to come and get this rune, get his bottle as quickly as he can. So Bulldog's safe lane up against the Magnus. And you got the Dragon Knight mid. So nothing too surprising, nothing out of the ordinary. So yeah, guys, for those of you wondering, this is game number 2, 2-game series. We had a little bit of a break about, well, we had a hefty break. We had a 40-minute break between the games because we're gonna line up the games with the Danish TV schedule. So their time slot, 10:30 p.m. CEST. This is all broadcast live with Syndra and Milk over on Danish TV. These rune battles, Exotic Deer very aggressive up on this high ground, watching out for anyone from Alliance moving on in. S4 should get the trade-off though. Bot rune for him, and top rune for Supreme on that Timbersaw. So what are they doing? The loader is up at top, but they're moving the Tusk down towards the bottom rune spot. And I don't know if this is just to safeguard the DK. I guess it was. Just move to safeguard the DK, get him his really uncontested rune, and then look to place your wards, because Dire have already got some down. Nice one up on this lane here. Watching for any movements in from the Tusk, because, you know, Tusk and Venomancer, if they smoke, if they move towards the middle lane, they could quite easily find a kill on the Timbersaw. 1 point in your Timber chain is going to be good, but, you know, the range isn't amazing. You're going to be able to jump from, like, here to here, and that's it. If you're caught down in the river, you're screwed. You are going to take a chunk of damage, and potentially your lane's over. So, things start off. Supreme is all green. Look at this funky green color going on this Timbersaw. Nature's Prophet down a bot against the Magnus. I think Bulldog should have a good time here. Sasu, even with a stout shield, he's going to get annoyed by the treants. Needs to regen himself up constantly. While S4 at mid, I'm kind of interested in this laning matchup. You know, Timbersaw, like I said, the damage output of Whirling Death, the strength decrease. And that reactive armor. Maybe he can control lane equilibrium enough to, you know, get his bottle quickly. Get himself into those rune spots as well, and control the tempo of the lane. Which is really what you have to do against the Dragon Knight. Don't let him push into that tower once he hits level 6. But the most interesting lane, of course, is up at top. Aggro tri-lane against the anti-mage. Once again, Alliance, they know how to deal with AM. You stop him farming, you really give him a rough time. And they've already pulled across, controlling lane equilibrium, bringing it back to the tier 1 here. Loader gets himself a fair amount of last hits, 5 and 1, AM 4 and 1. They are dealing with an Undying, though. An Undying along with Visage are like the banes of aggressive tri-lanes. With a Decay, with the Tombstones, they can stack up damage, and they can really make your life a living hell. So watch out for the magic sticks from Alliance. Once they get those up and running, there really is a big swing in power potential from these two lanes. Looks like S4 with his bottle already will get the first rune. And Supreme, give him a bounty. No, Invis. That's not going to do too much for you. Fills the bottle, but doesn't give you too much utility. You're not going to be ganking onto this lane with a 2-0-1 build. And he should be able to get a bounty rune down the bot with the Timbersaw. He is faster, he is stronger. Who is he? The mighty Tonga. Sasu and power. A shockwave and a power up at top, Lissash. He's going to take a bit of damage here with the shards forward. Nuts is actually very aggressively pushing forward with a spin onto Lissash. He decays, he tombstones. He's going to die here with a poison sting out from Arke. A deny potentially, no, there's no Gale. And Loader doesn't get the last hit in. Splinter Blast, Exotic Deer. Oh, they're going to get first blood. They turn it back around and get the Venomancer. Team Alternate pulled out, and they salve up the Undying at the last second to make sure he doesn't die. Meanwhile, middle lane. That's for that damage output. The 2-1-1. Whirling Death crushing him a little bit. So, DK, he's pretty much even in farm with the Timbersaw here, but yeah, Nature's Prophet out-farming, out-laning this Magnus pretty heftily. 6 last hits for Sasu, even with the Empower. And you're looking at Admiral Bulldog, this is his hero, you know. Lone Druid, sure enough, but Nature's Prophet, that's all him. And it looks like it's going to be rushing into an Orchid as well. Got that Orchid up, kill off the Anti-Mage a couple of times, stop his Battle Fury, slow down his Manta progression as well. Interesting though that he hasn't gone for like Phase Boots or Orb of Venom or anything, because that really could dominate the lane up against the Magnus. Stop him from farming and really limit when he gets into his bottle, and you put a halt to the blink timing as well. Nuts has moved towards the middle, looking for Supreme. but it's difficult for Supreme to find a kill this early on. Once he hits level 6, potentially he can try and find S4 with Chakram, Whirling Death, and things like that. But Supreme, this is the situation I'm talking about. One rotation in from the Tusk, and you find yourself in a position where you have to back up onto the ramp. You don't want to get caught in the river. You get stunned, you get killed. And Nuts is controlling runes here for him as well. S4, haste up at top, and this could be a kill rune. Run yourself up to the top lane. Maybe find an opening over onto the Winter Wyvern or the Undying, but looks like Arcane Loader playing relatively passively up at top. And the Bulldog. He's got his boots. And actually a very early magic wand. So with the Shockwave and Power Spam, you know, it's fully reasonable. But he's got his ulti up now. And this is where things start to open up a little bit. Because if you can TP Nature's Prophet up the top with a Tusk Snowball, a Gale, and then an Nature's Wrath bouncing across them, these heroes up here, especially the Winter Wyvern, are very, very easy pickoffs. Oh, look at that, Supreme! The damage into S4, and this is where you have to be a little bit worried as the Dragon Knight. Your armor means nothing against that massive, massive damage output from this little Timbersaw. And he's got his Arcane Boots, so I guess he's going to be heading into the pretty standard Bloodstone build. Bloodstone, go into the Boots of Travel, the Blink, things like that. Just give yourself mobility after you get the mana regen. And, Loader moves down to bottom lane. He's only level 3.5, actually. They need to give him some guaranteed farming time, so no surprises there as Bulldog TPs to base and will likely just move himself up to top. They probably stick the supports around, RK as well as Nuts. Maybe look for a kill with the Observer Ward down here, which is about to expire. And I missed the kill at middle lane, of course. Of course, bloody T-Tours. Bulldog, I was waiting for him to TP up the top, but they go towards middle lane, so Dragon Knight, there's his first level 6. Moving in onto this tier 1, TP out here from Undying, but walking in with a Tombstone, the damage output onto Lissash is pretty hefty. Zombies chasing, Arctic Burn will slow, and S4 has 4 stick charges, but it's not going to be enough. They'll chase him, they'll sprout him, and maybe it will be. There's no Shockwave available. The Snowball comes back in, and Nut secures 1 and probably 2. Nisha, Cold Embrace, and Timbersaw. Okay, he'll secure his teammate here and make sure he doesn't die. But no mana on Sasu, no bottle charges, no arcanes. They lose the Undying as well as the Timbersaw. They don't really get anything in return. Loader, giving some time down to bottom lane now, so 2-1. It's a lot more passive than the game number 1 was. Game number 1 was like 30-40 kills by 15 minutes. Just non-stop action, absolutely ridiculous stuff. But this game looks like Loader's a little bit more farm oriented, just wants to get into those key items, get into his level 6. Oh god. Right, time to switch on. That break has melted my brain. Supreme, he's already got 1 kill, but with a Sprout, the TP coming in from Bulldog, they can catch him here. Ulti goes out, Supreme jumps himself over onto the trees. Up onto high ground, still hits him though, and Bulldog, I'm not sure you can get yourself up onto this Tusk as the turnaround comes in. Tombstone's dropped, but it's 100 gold for Bulldog, and a stun onto Nisha, you can Gold Embrace, and S4, you've got to be wary about the damage output of Supreme. Snowball forward onto this little Winter Wyvern, and Nisha, yeah, you're trapped down here. Easy takedown. Team Alternate trying to react to what Alliance are doing. It's a little bit difficult. Because now you've got RK in this offlane role. Dealing, like, the Venomancer is dealing with the anti-mage. That's the scary part. Your support hero is contesting AM's farm. Like, okay, yeah, he's farming up here, but it's being contested. He's got a salve. He's got to get himself a ring of health as quickly as he can. But you're getting levels on the Venomancer, the biggest thing. You'll get an early level 6, get into, you know, your points in Gale, get into that poison over a little bit faster. But he's going for the wards build. Get the wards going, tier 1 tower mid goes down. And this is the thing, with the DK, the Treants, the Plague Wards, you could push so heavily into these towers. Rotating up the top already, S4's hasted. Half duration left on this dragon form, and they know what they want. Exotic Deer hides away in the trees, but they just want to kill the tier 1s. They just want tower after tower. This AM, oh god, he's going to get stunned up if they can find him. S4, no, he blinks himself to the west, and he looks like he's okay for now, but Nisha's not. Stunned up, killed off, can Cold Embrace at the last second. But this should be his demise. As the tombstone's taken out, Nisha, still surviving. As Bulldog's actually changed targets, going in for Ellis Sash. There's a Sprout, but there's a Decay ready with stick charges as well. He can keep himself alive as the Wyvern dies at the back. Sasu gets the RP onto Bulldog, and with the Nature's Wrath, he'll bounce the damage around, but he's still going to go down. Gale, onto Exotic Deer and Sasu as well, trapped both of them in the shards. Supreme's on his way up though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But this is the plan. Damage towers, take towers. Okay, there's no stunts to stop him. Lissash is TP'd in. S4, this is a little bit ballsy. You've got multiple people coming in from the side. It's Supreme as well. With a Chakram, S4's dead. Even with his 3 stick charges, this should be his death. Supreme, Chakram again. Yeah, not gonna miss this one. Whirling Death to secure. But again, the contest. 4 heroes up the top to deal with a little push in. They kill off the Dragon Knight. But down a bottom lane, all of a sudden Bulldog's like, right, well, a free laner bot. Loader, let's do this. Tier 1 tower. Easy as pie. And that's 2,200 gold on Loader. With a tier 1 mid. And now the tier 2 at bottom lane. There's a glyph available. Disconnect out from the game. Of course, it wouldn't be a game of Dota 2 without some disconnects. But you've got tier 1s, you've got a ton of gold, you've got free farming Loader now who's caught up significantly. Level 7, not too far behind the AM, about a level or so. What's that, 1,000 experience, something like that? Yeah, not too far behind. But with the gold income you're getting, wait, what is he, Midas? No, Yasha. Interesting. So before phase, before treads, going straight into the Yasha. So I'm guessing the SNY build, Manta style would be okay here, but you're worried about it. You know, you're worried about the illusions just getting cleared out by Splinter Blast and Timbersaw chucking his stuff around as well. Oh, interesting. Just been let know on Twitter that S4 actually played Timbersaw not too long ago, a couple of hours ago. So S4's been on the Timber train. Interesting, interesting. Well, S4 going into the drums after treads. Just pad out his stats a little bit. Now, Arcane, I guess Arcane's mech into Greaves wouldn't be too bad, but you know, something like a Midas for your Venomancer is not awful either. The Rushed Blink, pretty good. But Mana Sustain with the Arcanes only on the tusk so far. Oh god, they snowballed in. Tombstone is down, but the stun into Ellis Sash. The Cold Embrace is forced out here. And they're going to retreat. Nuts is stuck. And I think they're going to look for S4 afterwards. Yep, Nisha is going to get taken down by Bulldog. But S4, look at the damage output from that little old Timbersaw. S4 dead to the tower. Bulldog TPs himself away. They get 1 kill on the Wyvern, but that time not worth it. No real damage onto the tier 1 tower. And they don't get a trade-off elsewhere. Exotic Deer, he's empowered up, he's clearing down treants, he's killing off creep waves, and now he's been able to stop Loader's farm. So the contest being great from Team Alternate in the past couple of minutes. Tier 1 top gets denied, and that's gold limited up against Alliance. They're not going to get that massive swinging start. And it looks like Arcade's just going to be spending his gold all on observe wards and smokes and the support items like that.
Radiant's top tower.
And with the smoke, we'll make a move into the enemy jungle. But they're going to have to wrap around on the Timbersaw. There's no one really in the jungle. There's Sasu's Magnus. If he moves himself east, he's going to be in a ton of trouble. But he's just farming down medium, large, small camps over to the west. And Alliance, they don't see anything. There's no stacks here. There's nothing to steal. There's nothing to... Oh, there is. There's a small stack. Medium camp is stacked up a little bit. So I tell a lie. I don't really have a good way of clearing through this large stack, though. Without that level 2 dragon form. Oh, do they? Level 3 ice shards? They're going to go for it anyway. Team Alternate. They've got no idea this is happening. Observe Order scouts out as well, watching for any movements up. They'll be able to wrap around on the Undying and the Timbersaw. Just a matter of time. Creep wave's coming in, so they've got to make their move soon. S4, yep, there we go. Moves forward. No dragon form for 4 seconds or so, so they're going to have to start right now. Timber Chain across, Nisha. Tombstone is down, but the Winter Wyvern already screwed by the damage output of Alliance. And the Blade Fury, they'll secure that one over on the side. Bulldogs come in with a Sprout. He'll block Lissash, but good chains, good Whirling Death Chakram there. Coming out as Supreme. Slows them, kills off the Sprout. And the advance is on, as Tusk kills off the Undying on the side.
Bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Supreme Chains. Snowball's gonna get in there with Admiral Bulldog. Sprout available, holds him in place, and Supreme, you can chains all you want. Oh no, he misses it! He doesn't get down to the low ground!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Did he go between the trees? But they know there's an observer ward here now, they know for sure. But that is so unfortunate. His chain missed.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Tragic stuff. Tier 2 drops. Anti-Mage and the Magnus. You know, Magnus up to 2,100 gold. Anti-Mage now. Battle Fury is about 1,000 gold away. What are we looking at for Alliance? You know, their item progression hasn't been that amazing. Bulldog's the one at the top of the net worth chart, and his Orchid, you know, that's going to be the key pivotal item here for Alliance. If they can get the Anti-Mage lockdown, if they can get a few kills in his AM just before, or you know, just after, as he picks up that Battle Fury, that's the vital timing for him. You know, we often hark on about Anti-Mage needs to get his Battle Fury like by 15-60 minutes at the latest, and that's where you're really looking at things. 20 minutes, it's long gone. That's when your farming time is really stagnated and stalled up. But if you can kill him when he gets the Battle Fury, because you pretty much know that he's got it now. You can stop the Vlads, the Manta style. You really do ruin his day, because that's a ton of gold invested into an AM who needs to continue farming. They'll actually look for Sasu here. With the Orchid out, Snowball forward. He does get embraced up, but should be able to skewer himself away, and Blink has already been purchased. So Bulldog, Orchid revealed, and they don't make anything out of this. But the push continues. There's no tier 2 tower here for Alternate to defend, so they'll just go split pushing. They'll spread across. Exotic tier goes up to top, and he'll get himself closer and closer to the Battle Fury, while down in bottom lane, Supreme needs to finish the Bloodstone. He desperately needs to get into this item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sprout, Supreme, he's out. Maybe they can actually catch him here. S4 pops Dragonfall with the Orchid. There, they've got him. That's stopping this Timbersaw from snowballing, and Timbersaw without items is not an amazing hero. He can do a ton of damage for sure, but it's the sustained damage that you really are lacking, as Nisha now is caught by S4. Sasu could blink RP this, but there's no follow through. There's no damage output. Without an Anti-Mage, without a Timbersaw, there's nothing really they can do to jump. Like, look at this, they're all clumped up. This is a perfect, like, 5-man RP up there, but top is where Exotic tier is caught. There's a stun. No, there isn't. It's Lodo TP's in before S4. If the Dragon Knight had TP'd in beforehand, that AM was dead. There, he was screwed. Unfortunate timing, Alliance. They were so desperate for the Anti-Mage kill, the calls were coming. I've got him! I've silenced him! There's nothing to stop him from just TPing out. Interesting. Bulldog goes in for this one, and that's a dead Anti-Mage. From top lane to bot lane, AM thought, I'm safe, I'm good. But the rotations from Alliance are non-stop, incessant destruction from them. Sasu, he's hiding himself up on that little cliff, but not the greatest position to be in. They need Supreme. They need him to go and defend this bottom tier 2. Because if you can get, again, if you can get this RP into Winter's Curse, into all the damage output from the Timbersaw, you can take down a couple of heroes from Alliance. I'm not saying you're going to be able to team wipe them completely. Depends on the positioning. I mean, S4, he's tanky. But Whirling Death, if you get that pure damage onto him, oh man. Minus can try and save with his little snowball. Nice shards. Winter's Curse to turn things back as Loda's caught, but he spins to victory. Just going for the tier 2 tower here. Supreme's looking. He wants to go back in. Nuts. Very deep behind enemy lines. But oh, Lissash dead. He's gone. RP Silent. Oh, Bulldog starts up the Magnus before he can RP it. Oh, when Lissash comes through. Loda clears up too with the help of Bulldog and Nisha. Nothing left to give. 3 dead with no buyback. They're pushing up to tier 3. Arky with the level 4 wall just pushing forward further and further forward with the stuns through. Supreme, he can chains away, but he's dead to the dots, the stings, the poisons, and Anti-Mage. Hide in your fountain. Alliance, 17 minutes in, they've had enough with a 30-minute break, a 17-minute game. They're taking tier 3s, they're taking racks, there's nothing to stop them. The Treants and the Plague Wards cruising to victory here for Alliance. Exotic tier Anti-Mage once again. Game number 1, same kind of story. Game number 1, he got like a 22-minute Battle Fury and things looked rough. This game, you know, 15-minute Battle Fury, but where did he farm, honestly? Alliance are all over this map. They're pushing in everywhere. There's nowhere safe. The Alliance Death Ball has returned. Oh, they've still got the chance for that big wombo combo. The big RP. Into the Timber Sword damage output. Nisha, a little bit low in the old item progression. 1400 net worth, 1800 over on the Undying, and you look at the top 6 heroes, and what do you see? Green, green, green. Golden green. There's Admiral Bulldog, 9.5 thousand with his Shadow Blade done now. Nuts with what? Mech Arcanes? Bloody hell. And Arcade. Didn't go for Blink, didn't go for a stupid Midas, of course not. No, you want to finish this game early. Veil, and now into the Aghanim Scepter. He's got himself Arcanes for the sustain as well as S4. So they've got double Shadow Blades now. Initiation tools completely available for alliances. This Tusk and Dragon Knight. Tier 3 tower. Wild Wing Tornado flying across. Loader with SNY Dominator and level 2 Dragon Form. Oh, for S4. In for... Oh no. Sasu again. Bulldog is just on the bloody mark with these Sasas. Loader's caught in the Winter's Curse, but it's not going to kill him off. They kill the Tombstone instead. Lissash slowed by the tornado and he's on the retreat out. Anti-Mage can't go into farm and Loader's dropping low. He's got his healing ward through. His Nuts goes in, they kill off the Undying, and this looks like it's game. Nisha's destroyed, Exotic Deer silenced, Magic Stick charges not gone, buyback available. It's going to be forced here, but GG's coming surely. 2 lanes of racks, Team Alternate crushed by Alliance. And then some style as well. Not the trees. GG well played is called 2-0 to Alliance. That was quick. That was bloody quick. He is faster. He is stronger. Who is he? He's the bloody Donga. That's who he is. Pre-20 minute GG. Pre-20 minutes GG. Alliance 2-0 Team Alternate there. And that's it for tonight. The defense continues tomorrow, I believe, at 6:30 PM CEST. We've got more D2CL as well. Oh my goodness. Well, I've been Durka. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the game. We had a cracker NIP earlier on today. But Team Liquid, 2-0 them, 2-0 here for Alliance, and that's it. That's it. Storming victories all around. But yeah, we're back tomorrow, guys. So tune in, 6:30 PM CEST again. I'll see you guys tomorrow.